Hello folks, this is Sula speaking. You're listening to another video for Teamfight Tactics. This is taken from another one of our Friday double up group games. We actually managed to get all 8 people into a lobby. So joining me in this game is Antisocial Monkey, along with the rest of the crew. You can see the teams listed here and on the right side of the screen. In this game, we're going to be seeing a Smolder-based team composition. Yeah, one of the first times that I've had the chance to play the Monster Trainer setup in this game. We're going to be featuring Smolder this time around. Our encounter also is the Akali one, which means we're going to get a lot of loot. And then it's basically the Halls of the Nine from back in set 9. Just everybody gets lots of loot nonstop. It's one of my least favorite of the portals because it's not very balanced. And it means you're going to be seeing a very high econ game where people's boards are going to cap out super duper hard. And like you can just win or lose based on the loot that's getting dropped. Speaking of which, what's this? I get double Lulus to start the game. And as soon as I see that, I was like, well, I feel like I have to play Monster Trainer. I feel like I have to play one of these. I had actually just played a Kog'Maw game right before this. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to try to play Smolder in this game. And we'll try to see some Smolder gameplay. As for Antisocial Monkey, he had a Crystal Gambit start, so I'm going to send in the Syndra, and he's going to be looking to play Crystal Gambit. And that means this is going to be a bit of a wild game because he is going for the big cash out trait, Crystal Gambit, and it's going to be a bumpy ride, to say the least, but it turns into an interesting game. As far as other stuff I have here, so what I want to try to grab is other protector units. That's basically how both Smolder and Kog'Maw are being played, at least in the current build, is people are typically building, and I'm going to take the efficient abilities cost 20 less mana to cast here, which I think is a pretty solid one on Smolder, as you see me highlighting what he does. But anyway, people are mostly playing both of them. We're both backline, range carries, DPS, with a front line of protectors right now. You basically just go vertical protectors, and then you play either Smolder or Kog'Maw behind it. And that tends to be the way most people are playing it. Anyway, I see Pandora's items. I was planning on grabbing this. I was like, as a silver augment, yes. Interestingly enough, though, there actually was the Kennen Hero augment here as well. I'm kind of wondering if I shouldn't have just taken the Kennen Hero augment because I'm going to be playing vertical protectors, and I'm going to want a lot of protector units anyway. I do wonder if I hadn't just take that and then just like play through the Kennen for the early game and then just like swap into the Smolder later on. I actually could have maybe gone in that direction. I actually already have a Rage Blade plus a Jeweled Gauntlet if I wanted to go in that direction here. I could just do Rage Blade, Jeweled Gauntlet, and I would actually have a 2-star Kennen based on the fact that I would have gotten a Kennen from that augment. So like that might have been pretty effective here. But no, I decided to take the Pandora's items, and that does mean I'll be able to craft kind of like perfect items for what I want to play. Also noteworthy, note that I got a spatula here. Remember how I said that initial encounter was going to give all of us lots and lots of loot? Yeah, it's going to give everybody a lot of loot because it turns out everyone got a spatula. All 8 players in the game got a spatula to start the game. And that means that there's going to be all kinds of weird, wacky nonsense going on here. In terms of our boards, I looked at what I'm going to be playing here, and I immediately thought, I am going to try to make a strategist emblem with this, which the recipe for that is cloak plus spatula. By the way, this is going to happen. Remember, I have Pandora's items. Yeah, my my spat just instantly rerolled into a frying pan. I was like, that's not actually what I wanted. But it's fine. It'll just turn back into a spatula again next round because spatulas and frying pans just flip back and forth. The reason for that is one of the protectors is Janna, and she has, her traits are Protector plus Crystal Gambit plus Strategist. So that'll be an easy way to get Strategist trait in play. And then after I fill out my board with 6 protectors plus the Smolder. Later on, I could try to play like Rise plus Jarvan as well. And that could be my board at level 9. It's like Rise plus Jarvan plus all the other protectors and Smolder. That would give me 3 strategist trait. That should be reasonably good. And like Rise could be kind of like a secondary supporting carry to go along with the Smolder. So anyway, that was the plan that I have in this game. By the way, I'm up against Headwinder in this round, and Headwinder has picked up Rammus. Yeah, he's going to play Rammus on his board for now, although he will swap out of that eventually. I actually got more damage from the Lucian that round, which is kind of amusing, but Lucian is already a 2-star unit. We're also trying to make it so that Antisocial Monkey can make a Crystal Gambit emblem. He needs a belt for that, so I'm going to send him the belt. And because I have the Pandora's items, we're actually going to use this to flip items back and forth a little bit more often than we would normally. Anyway, there I'm going to put the Nico on the board. So now we have 2 Protector in, and we're still just running that 2-star Lucian for the time being. All right, so what is the deal with Monster Trainer? It's the first time I've done a video featuring this trait. Very interesting trait. It is based on playing Lulu. When you find Lulu in the store, you have a choice of one of 3 units you can play. You can play Rammus, who's a frontline tank. You can play Smolder, who's a backline AD carry. Deals physical damage and also burns and wounds the target. Or you can play Cogmal, who does magic damage, and he kind of has like on-hit stacking magic damage. So you have like 2 carries, and then you have a tank that you can play. You can pick any of those, but you can only have one of them. You have to choose one of them to put on the board with Lulu. Once you have them on play, you will no longer see Lulu in the store. You will see whatever one of those units you have. So I won't see Lulu in the store. I will see Smolders in the store in this round. There's actually been a lot of bugs associated with this mechanic. I think when the initial first release version came out, you couldn't even find Lulu on carousel. Like Lulu would just never be on the item carousels, but that has been fixed. Now there's no Lulus here this time, but it's like whatever. So yeah, we have a chance to pick off the carousel. We've actually won enough rounds that I am last pick here. And out of these options, remember, I have Pandora's items, so it doesn't really matter that much which item I take. I'm content to take the Zig. I mean, I guess I'm getting a cloak. There's only 2 cloaks left. But I'm content to get the Ziggs, and then I can actually use that to make the strategist emblem I wanted to, even though I haven't found a Janna yet. Oh, wait, there's a Janna. So we can just go ahead. I am going to look to make the strategist emblem, and then I'll look to play the Janna. By the way, the Ziggs also has strategist trait, but Ziggs is not a good unit. Ziggs is not a unit I really want to be playing, so I'm content to not play that unit for right now and just sell him to clear bench space. Like I said, Monster Trainer, once you set which unit it has, they all have different abilities. The unique thing about these units is they get stronger and scale up over time. I'm reminded a bit of set 7, which was the Dragon set, where you would get the Namzi that would scale up over time when you had Trainer trait in. And this is kind of like that as well. Although it's not based on the number of rounds that you play the unit. I mean, I guess it kind of is. It's based on how often the Monster Trainer units deal damage and how often they get their casts off. So they start out at level 1, unlike every other unit in Teamfight Tactics, which doesn't have a level. Unfortunately, I get run over by Grillo's very strong Soul Fighters board. The Monster Trainer units start out at level 1, and they get experience. They get experience for attacking. They get experience for casting. They will level up over the course of time, and they can ultimately get all the way to level 45, but that's unlikely to happen unless you like put them in immediately, as I did in this game. And then you get to like level stage 7. It's usually not going to get that far. So yeah, they start at level 1 and they scale up and they increase their damage every stage. The Smolder gains 1% damage or 1% AD every time he levels up. So, you know, if you get to level 40, you know, that's like a Deathblade's worth of additional stats. So that's pretty good. But there, yeah, here it is. Your strongest monster gains 1% health per level. Okay, 1% health per level. I thought they also got damage as well. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but they definitely do get some more health. Their abilities also get stronger over time. So at level 15 and again at level 30, their abilities unlock additional functions. Smolder at the start of the game is not that strong, but he gets a lot stronger when his additional abilities come, when his kind of secondary properties of his abilities come into play, when he gets up to level 15 and then level 30. His initial ability is he attacks the enemy target, deals physical damage. He then splashes some damage onto 2 other targets. His main damage is physical. His splash damage is magic. His splash damage is not a lot, but the big thing he does is he does burn and wound the enemy. So that is, it's the effect of like a Sunfire Cape in that it's a heal reduction, and then it also has like ticking health that takes away from the enemies. Yeah, he's currently at level 9, so Smolder is, I think, up to level 9 so far. He'll need to get a little bit more to get that level 15 unlock. At level 15, his ability is every other cast, he fires a secondary blast that hits another target and deals 75% of damage. I could make another Infinity Edge here, but I don't want to do double Infinity Edges, so I will go ahead and make the Striker's Flail, which is supposed to be one of Smolder's better items. Also has very good synergy with the Infinity Edge there. So I was content to make that. I will have to use an item remover to get it off Kennen, but I'm content with that. And then I'll look to try to make something else for his last item. By the way, here's another big gold drop. Remember how I said this is going to be an advanced econ lobby? This is a good example of that. So we'll go ahead and take out the Lucian. We probably don't need Lucian at this point, but we'll move into the 4 protectors. For protector is a tech. Tripping over my own tongue here. Protector is a tank trait. and it causes protector units to get a shield based on their percentage of max HP. So getting additional health is good. Getting additional resistances is also good on protector units. It's one of the weaker tank traits in the set, but 6 protectors does give you a pretty strong front line. All right, so as I said, Smolder's initial ability deals damage. He splashes it onto 2 targets, and it you can actually see the splash when he gets his cast off. And all the targets are burning. That's kind of the utility he has, is you don't need like a Sunfire cape because he already burns the targets. At level 15, the increased functionality is he uses a second cast. We haven't seen that yet, but he is getting close to level 15. At level 30, that's when he really gets strong. At level 30, he ignores 60% of enemy armor, which is a lot of armor to ignore. And then his mana cost also drops by 10. Normal mana cost is 60. With that, it goes down to 50. And I've given him a power up that cuts another 20 off his mana. So right now, his mana cost is only 40 for me. And and by the way, I get the I just opt to take more item components here because I have Pandora's items. I can kind of pick whatever I want. So more items is good for me. And I'm going to do the Death Blade on him as I send a Syndra over to ASM's board. But anyway, so I have the thing that reduces his mana cost by 20. So right now his mana cost drops from 60 to 40. It'll go down to 30 when I get him fully stacked up at level 30. I mean, that's 30 mana cost down from 60. It's a pretty big deal. So I'm happy with this power up. In terms of his items, I've built him as an AD caster. It's just like he's going to deal a ton of damage when he attacks. I do wonder if I should have given him either a Shojin or a Rage Blade so he would attack faster. All the items I have on Smolder are considered to be some of his best items, but like this is the build where he just hits really, really, really hard. You can also, as I said, put like a Shojin on him so he generates more mana, or a Rage Blade for stacking attack speed. I actually think the Rage Blade would have been pretty good here because I have like a very strong front line, and Rage Blade's good when you have a very sturdy front line that can give you additional time to scale up in fights. So that might have been better, but I don't think the items I had here are bad. He's going to do a lot of damage. One thing I should have done, though, is I actually just had another Ziggs in my shop. I put the Malphite on the board. Malphite takes me up to 5 protector, but like I don't need 5 protector. I would have done better to play the Ziggs over the Malphite here, and then I could have had 3 strategists in, which definitely would have been better. Like I don't need Malphite, who's not doing anything right now. He gives me another rank of protector trait that I'm not even using. I would have done better to have the Ziggs in. So that's like a minor mistake. I'm not that used to playing this comp, so not too surprised that I miss a few things here and there. Mostly, though, I just want to get up to level 7, and on level 7, I'm going to slow roll for Smolder 3, and I need Smolder 3-star for this board to work. Ideally, I would get Smolder 3-star plus Nico 3-star, and Nico would be the main tank on my board. So that's kind of what I'm going towards. It's a different strategy than what Antisocial Monkey is going towards. He is playing Crystal Gambit, and he needs to get up to 7 Crystal Gambit, which is where that comp really spikes. He does have the emblem, which is what you need. There's only 6 Crystal Gambit units, so to play Crystal Gambit 7, you have to find an emblem. He has the emblem, so that's not the issue, but he needs to get Zyra and he needs to get Ashe. So he is going to be trying to push levels so he can get Zyra and Ashe on the board, and he's pretty much just been lost streaking all throughout the game thus far. You might have noticed he's been able to send me a couple units, but unfortunately he hasn't found a single Lulu yet. I've actually been sitting on 2 out of 3 Smolder since the very first round of the game. Excuse me. And that's been hurting our kind of collective boards quite a bit. I feel like my board is like mediocre. It's not super strong. It's not super weak. It's somewhere in between. But if I could have hit an early Smolder, then I would have just been win streaking through all these rounds. So it's a little unfortunate neither of us have seen a Lulu, so I could get the Smolder 2-star. A bit unfortunate considering that I had 2 out of 3 from the first minion round of the game. So like I said, we've lost a fair amount of health, but we're doing our best. We're just going to try to hang in there for as long as possible. Now, this is not what we want to see. Headwinder having a 2-star Rammus. I was like, oh, man. Headwinder's got the 2-star Rammus. I was like, really? That is not what I want, because those Rammuses are more Lulus taken out of the pool. He's actually just playing it as a temporary unit, but it's not. He's actually going for Caitlyn 3-star, Jace 3-star, which is another popular build at the moment. But it's a little unfortunate for me. I actually got Battle Academia Rammus in there. Remember, everybody has a spatula. He even has an extra Rammus on the bench. So I'm not sure why he has the extra Rammus on the bench. Maybe he thought about going for Rammus 3-star. But if he goes for Rammus 3, it pretty much kills my game. So I'm really hoping he's going to pivot out of the Rammus at some point. In the good news, bad news department, Headwinder has found a Leona, which is bad in the sense that now he can play Leona, but it's good in the sense that he has now dropped the he's dropped the Rammus because now that he has Leona on there, he doesn't need to play that unit anymore. But the bad news is he found the Leona, so yeah, that's not great. But at least he dropped the Rammuses, and that's going to be easier for me to hit Smolder 3. Again, my Smolder's dealing an awful lot of damage. I think if I had Smolder 2-star, I might be able to win this fight. But with only Smolder 1, yeah, the Kate's going to use her ult, and it bounces around, and so much for my backline. I do think I might have been able to win that. By the way, there's another Ziggs in the shop, so I could have bought that Ziggs and played 3 strategists. Although I don't think that would have been enough to win the fight, but it would not have hurt, certainly. All right, so now it's time for another gift round here. I'm going to get a gift from ASM. I'm going to send him this Swain, by the way, because he needs Swain for his board, for his Crystal Gambit board. And I will also get the chance to assign another power-up. The gift, what is the gift that I end up taking here? I'm trying to remember what I ended up getting. I think it was just, I think I just wanted more gold or of some kind. I don't think I needed like more item components. Wait, what did I end up getting? Oh no, I took in a component anvil. That's it. That's it. I think I had the option for gold, but I guess I went for this. And then I had a choice between Spirit Visage or Warmogs. Both of them are pretty good for a protector setup. I was like, I guess I'll take the Warmogs. I think Spirit Visage is better long term, but I think Warmogs gives more immediate power. And I think this is a little bit better. By the way, then I hit this. Do you know how many pairs I have? I have Smolder pair, Malphite pair, Janna pair, Rakan pair, Nico pair. I was like, what the heck? So I have all these pairs that I'm not hitting, but then I hit Cassante on immediately the first roll. And that's big because Cassante is the last protector. That gives me my 6th protector. And I needed a Cassante to play 6th protector. Of course, again, I could have played more strategists to fill in the blanks if I couldn't find Cassante. But yeah, 6th protector is all the protector units get a 60% max HP shield, which they will get when they hit half health. And they will also put on another but whatever the nearest unit is, they will also get that. So again, the Warmogs gives a bigger shield, which means that they will be able to give a bigger shield to someone else. Now, unfortunately over here, Grillo has been so strong throughout the game. He not only has that Soul Fighter emblem on a 2-star Udyr, he's also found a Gwen. He probably got that out of one of the gift rounds because I know that one of the gift options is you can fish for a 5-cost unit. But yeah, him already having a Gwen on his Soul Fighter's board is, that's a little bit scary. That's not what we want to see. Meanwhile, I'm still stuck on a Smolder pair. I have 2 out of 3 Smolders still. I had 2 out of 3 Smolders on 2-1. No, on 1-3, I had 2 out of 3 Smolders. And on 3-7, I still have 2 out of 3 Smolders. So I need to hit this unit. I was actually hoping I could get the double lesser champion duplicators. It's one of the gift options to send to your partner is 2 lesser champion duplicators. But that was not an option for me. I would have very happily picked that. So now I just have to cross my fingers and hope that I can hit these Smolders because I need 7 more of them. And unfortunately, ASM has not been able to find any so far. So, not what we want. There's a Varus, not what I need. I could have used that in a lot of other games, but not this one. And then I get a 2-star Senna. I think that was our gift from the Halls of the Nine loot fiesta thing is for this particular round. I ended up getting, everybody got a 2-star 3-cost. Imagine if that had been a 2-star Smolder, but no. The odds of that are low. That would have been like 1 in 12 odds to hit that, but still. There's a Jarvan, by the way, but I don't have space on my board to play him. He would give me another Anko Strategist, which would be great, but there's just not enough room to play him right now. And there's no point in sitting on him until level 8. I'm going to be rolling here for a while. So anyway, now I do finally have the 2-star Smolder. That's really nice. But I still need more Smolders. I need like a lot more Smolders to put this board together. I did find an Ashe that's going to go over to Antisocial Monkey's board, so that's going to help him for sure. But you might have noticed we've lost a lot of health in this lobby. Again, my board has not been especially strong. Like, it's holding its own. It's not like pathetic or weak or anything. But ASM's mostly been lost streaking with Crystal Gambit. I think he's lost almost every round of the game thus far. So, yeah, we have lost a lot of health, unfortunately. Oh, and then look at this. Our last augment. I'm not really seeing a lot I like here. It's a gold augment. I'm looking at the different options here. I was like, I'll take Cloning Facility. That's going to put this little wispy, circular, cloudy square in the middle of the board. And it creates a clone of the unit that you have there that deals, the mana cost is increased and the damage is decreased, and it doesn't have any items. I thought this might be good for Smolder. I was like, oh, cool, I'm going to have a 3-star Smolder. What if I just duplicate the 3-star Smolder? I'll just have like 2 Smolders attacking. That sounds really cool, right? But no, it's actually not that cool. It actually turns out to be not especially good, unfortunately. And now that I've hit the 2-star Nico, I'm going to swap my power up over to Nico. And I'm going to take this selfish one, gain 10% durability, heal for 5% of all damage dealt by allies. This is a pretty good one for her. Protector units gain 5% durability while shielded. So this will just go up to 15% while shielded. And she'll also be a little bit like I have gunblades on my other units because they'll keep healing Nico as well. It's a pretty good fit for front. Nothing crazy or anything, but it's a pretty good fit for frontline. Anyway, as far as the cloning thing goes, I realized pretty immediately, I was like, oh, actually, this thing's not really very good at all. Yeah, it turns out that this is not, look, the main Smolder did 8,600 damage, the clone did 1,300. I was like, yeah, it turns out that the clone is not really very good unless the clone can benefit from traits. It's not that bad if you would, like, let's say you're playing a 6 duelist composition. By the way, I'm going to grab Rise. He's kind of probably going to be the next unit in because he has strategist trait and I need more damage. At least I am hitting some Smolders now. That's some good news. But anyway, imagine if you put like someone like Ashe there. Ashe has duelist trait. Now, the clone will not benefit from items, but the clone will benefit from whatever traits you have on the board. So, like, cloning an Ashe who will get lots of attack speed from duelist trait, that actually is not that bad. Or let's imagine you're playing, I don't know, Sork trait, and, like, you play 6 Sorks and you put, like, a second Gwen there. That unit is still going to benefit from 6 Sorks and, like, Soul Fighter if you have it in. So, if you're playing heavily into a vertical trait, it can be decent. I still wouldn't say it's one of the better options, though. So here's the problem with Smolder. Smolder doesn't have any traits. So he might be like the worst possible unit to put here because he doesn't benefit from traits. Yeah, I did not think about that. I'd actually never tried this augment before playing it. So this was a pretty big grief, but it's just one of those things where you kind of have to experiment with these and like see what works and what doesn't. And like this emphatically did not work. The Janna did more damage that round than my Smolder clone. So I'm basically down a gold augment here. This extra Smolder is like completely useless. I would have done better with some of the other options. One of them was like deal stacking true damage based on how many times you hit the target. That would have been a lot better because Smolder already does a decent amount of true damage with his burns, and giving us some more true damage, considering how hard he hits, would have been pretty nice. But anyway, there were better options. I certainly should not have picked this one. Well, lesson learned. I sometimes grief myself, and this was a pretty good example of that. Well, anyway, I am on the 6 Smolders. They're actually coming in reasonably fast. I took the TF here off this carousel because he sells for 5 gold, and I can use the belt for a little more frontline. I will pick up the Rises. As I said, he's probably the next unit in. 7 Smolders, 2 Cassantes. Again, I'm making some progress. What's unfortunate still is that Antisocial Monkey has not found any Smolders on his board. He just hasn't found them the entire game, so he never has any of them available to send me. He has gone level 9. He's a 9 on 4-5. You can see he's been econing super hard. And we were able to put together a 2-star Ashe, so that's a pretty big deal. But he has to find Zyra, and he doesn't have the Zyra yet, unfortunately. His board is not going to take off until he can get Zyra for the 7 Crystal Gambit. Then there's also this board here. So Headminer has hit the Kate 3-star. He has 7 Battle Academia, and oof, look what happens when that Kate ults. Kate ults and it hits the backline, and she just kills Smolder almost immediately. My frontline is still pretty tanky. My frontline holds up there for a while. The problem is they can't protect the backline against Kate. This is a terrible matchup for my comp. My comp is all about having this really beefy protector frontline, and then Smolder like ramps up behind that and kills everything. But I can't do that against Headminer. So I was like, oh, that comp just is so bad for me. I really do not want to see that comp. So I'm just hoping I don't have to see Headwinder again anytime soon. Now look at the health on the right side of the screen. It's the end of stage 4. We're on 9 HP. Yeah, we're on 9 health. That is not where you want to be at the end of stage 4 in this game. Not where you want to be at all. The good news is ASM did finally hit his Zyra. So he does have the Crystal Gambit 7 in, and that will make his board a lot stronger. He can play through the Ashe, which he did 2-star, and he can play through the Zyra. But we need to stabilize like right now, or we're going to be out of this lobby. And this does not look like the board to do it. This is Grillo's board again. His Soul Fighter board has just been so strong the entire game. I definitely don't win this, but with ASM's help, can we maybe get this one? Let's see. He does still have his Ashe alive, but Ashe is in a really bad spot. Can we end up winning this one? That Samira's ultimate doesn't look like it. So even with his help, we're not able to win. Does that set us to 1 HP? No. Thankfully, we're at 4, and it's a really big difference because if we went to 1 HP, we would be out of the lobby on the next loss. So by being on, 4 HP, we at least can absorb one more loss before we're out of the lobby. So we can basically lose like one more time, and then we're out and our game is done. So it's like, ugh. This is, we're walking the tightrope here. There's not a lot of room for error here. If there is good news, it's that I am getting pretty close. I'm on 8 out of 9 Smolders, 2 out of 3 Casantes, 2 out of 3 Rises, and Rise will go on the board as soon as I can get to level 8. So, like, I am getting close here, and Smolder's also close to level 30. Again, Smolder needs to get to level 30 to unlock that reduce mana cost and ability to ignore most of the enemy armor. So I'm getting closer, but like we're running out of time. We just don't have much time. I have to roll this down. I have to find a Smolder here. We get more gold to roll with, and I'll go ahead and pick up Nico's. I actually sold a Nico back there, which I really shouldn't have done. And then here I was like, I don't need more frontline. I have tons of frontline already. I'll take an item for Rise, I guess. I would have preferred like a tier or something. And all right, there's the Rise. There's the Smolder. Okay, we'll go ahead and level and put in the Rise. And now I'll move these items off Janna and off of Janna and onto Rise. This is not really the items I want on Rise. I'd much prefer to have, I don't know, a Jeweled Gauntlet or like a, what's this called? An Archangel Staff or something like that. But I ended up with a bunch of rods. I could have let that one rod reroll on my bench. The other thing I probably should have done is I should have taken the belt that's on Casante. I should have taken that extra belt off him and then just let it reroll on the bench into something that could be used on Rise. Now, I don't have any more, any more item removers, but I could have done that later on. And I don't think I ever thought to do that. So I get stuck with half an item on Rise and half an item on Casante. Anyway, we were able to double win that round, so that's big. Both of us won. Maybe we're starting to stabilize here. The Smolder is getting to be pretty strong, but my front line is still not quite there. I really would like to have Casante 2-star and a couple more Nikos. So that's the hope there. I'm going to try to let my Econ build back up because I would like to level to level 9 if possible and then put Jarvan on the board. That's what I'm hoping for. Meanwhile, over there, ASM has 7 Ashes. So he was like, hey, I'm on 7 Ashes. Can you keep an eye out for Ash? I was like, okay. I'll hold for right now. But if we go down, I said right now, I was like, if we go down to 1 HP, I'll just send it and see if I can find another Ash for you. Because if we're on 1 health and we die on the next loss, then there's no point in holding gold because we'll just die if that happens. So anyway, who are we up against this round? Shallow Thought's board. Shallow Thought is playing the Battle Academia / Prodigy build. He's got a Battle Academia emblem because, again, everyone got a spatula, which he's put on Seraphine. And he's also gotten a Manazane for that, for his Yuumi. And oof, that Manazane on a 7 Battle Academia 5 Prodigy Yuumi is really strong. It's a Yuumi 1-star, and it's still is bowling over my board. I was like, oh, this is not good. And then Rienzo reinforces me as well. I was like, oh man, okay. Well, we lose that round. ASM loses as well. We're both on 1 HP. So, like, this is it. We cannot lose another round where the game is over. It is a double-up gift round, though. And the choice was between money or an item. And I was like, just give me money, and I'm going to look for an Ash for you. I'm actually going to put it in the team planner so I don't scroll past it by accident. I was like, I'm just looking for an Ash. Give me Ashes. And I went past a Nico. I should have picked that up. I was just in the Ash or anything else mindset right now. But I could have picked that up and then sold it. So there's no reason not to hold it. All right, I'll grab that Nico. Come on, Ash. We need Ash. We need one more Ash. Can we find an Ash? And on my very final roll, there's an Ash there. I was like, oh my God. On literally the last roll, I was like, go, pick up this Ash. And that makes Ash 3-star because ASM had 8 Ashes. So, I had to sacrifice the entire economy to pull that off. I literally rolled every single piece of gold that I had, including the 25 gold from the double-up gift round. But now he has the 3-star Ash on his 7 Crystal Gambit board. And that's going to beat pretty much everything. So I just have to not die. That becomes the new goal. I have to not die in these rounds because if I lose, the game is over. We have 1 health. I know that it ticked up to 2 HP, but that's fake. We are on 1 health. For some reason, double up is bugged right now. Whenever you go down to 1 HP, it starts increasing your health by 1 every single round. I have no idea why this is. It keeps happening over and over again in the games, but hopefully they'll fix that. So anyway, ignore that visual bug. We're on 1 HP. If either of us loses, we are out of the lobby. There is a great reward here on this carousel, though. There's a strategist emblem, and I was like, oh, I would love to go up to 4 strategists. That would be very nice. That's going to give more shielding for my front lines and more damage amp for my back lines, which is just fantastic. It's going to be even better on units like Rise is going to get a huge amount of damage amp from that. Now, if I could somehow get to level 9 and put Jarvan in, I'd have 5 strategists, which is one of the best performing traits in the overall data. The 5 strategist has an average placement of like, I think it's like 3.4 or 3.5, which is just insanely high. But it's also clear, look at the lobby's health. We're on 1 HP, and then it's 18, 9, and 6. Yeah, the game's just not going to last long enough for me to get to level 9. So what I need to do now is to roll and try to find that final Nico. Or 2 more. I need 2 more Nicos. I am on 7. If I can hit Nico 3-star, I'll feel a lot more confident I can survive this. I'm actually going to move off the Hex there because I was worried I was going to be up against Headwinder's board. I had 50-50 odds to hit Headwinder or Walloper. I was trying to just position away from his Caitlyn so she won't just snipe my whole back line. But fortunately, I don't hit Headwinder's board, which is the win-streaking board in the lobby. I have the Walloper who's playing a Darius plus Jace reroll composition. And that Darius is really strong, but not strong enough to get through my front line, which has just a billion shields. And I survived long enough for ASM to come in and win that round. I think I probably would have won that round anyway, but it would have been close. And Ashe 3-star coming in with all the Crystal Gambit units definitely makes that a much less close fight. But now, once again, it's 50-50 odds. I can be up against Grillo's board, or I can be up against Headwinder's board. I really don't want to be up against Headwinder's board. I think that board gives the worst matchup with mine, because, again, he has that Caitlyn that can shoot past my front line and just look to kill Smolder immediately. I actually decided I would go back to the cloning hex, because I was like, well, if I put an extra Smolder on the board, that's 1 more unit that Caitlyn has to kill, because I'm just trying to stall here long enough for ASM's board to reinforce. So anyway, I will go ahead and, once again, the 50-50 is kind to me. I am not up against Headwinder's board. I'm up against Grillo's board. And although he's been taking me to the cleaners the entire game with his Soul Fighter's board, I don't think he can kill me fast enough before ASM comes over and reinforces. Again, he has 7 Crystal Gambit 3-star Ashe in a Duelist board. Yeah, that board's going to be strong. Again, I don't know if I win this one 1v1. I think it might be like a narrow loss, but again, it's kind of irrelevant because I'm able to win. And what's this? We actually hit the top 4. Headwinder and Willow are out, and then Shalthot and Rienzo are out. Look how close this lobby is. 4 HP for us, really 1 HP, and now Grillo and Walloper are also on 1 HP. By the way, now that I got my Smolder up to level 30, he is doing a ton of damage. Smolder is doing like 10,000, 13,000, 17,000 damage in every fight. It's when he hit the level 30 and he got to ignore 60% of the enemy's armor and his mana cost dropped again. That's what really boosted him over the top. And there we go. ASM was not able to send me a lot of units this game because he had to greed his econ up to level 9, but he did find another Nico. That's Nico 3-star, and I think that's enough frontline that I can survive long enough for Ashe to come in. By the way, everybody gets a 2-star 5 cost this round for free. I was like, okay. Still not enough econ for me to get to level 9, but I will take this Bramble Vest. I know I'm going to be up against Walloper's board because I hit Grillo last round, and his comp is all physical damage. So the best thing I can do, I have to avoid getting run over by Jace and Darius. Best thing I can do is put a Bramble Vest on Nico, because that comp is all physical damage, and this comp is good. The Bramble Vest will be good against that. So I wanted to reposition the Nico to be right next to the Darius. I don't quite manage to get that off, but I do have a 3-star Nico with these items, and 6 Protector and 4 Strategist. Yeah, that's going to be a very hard unit to kill. And as strong as the Darius and as strong as the Jace are, Jace having the, the Supreme Cell emblem, I don't think they can kill my frontline fast enough. Smolder actually got the Protector shield this round. And yeah, they just can't kill the frontline fast enough before Ashe 3-star comes over. And we actually take this lobby. Somehow, some way, we win this lobby on 1 hit point thanks to making the 3-star Ashe. I mean, what a gamble this one was. This was a 1st or 8th game, to be sure. This one was super duper close. We could have lost and gone out in last place, like way before everyone else, super duper easily. But ASM was able to keep grabbing those Ashes, which was fortunately uncontested in this lobby. And I sacrificed my whole economy to get in the last one. And that allowed us to pull it out at the last second. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. What a fun game. We loved having the full lobby of 8 people. If you're watching this, I hope maybe you can come out and join us one of these Fridays. Until next time then, take care, folks, and I will see you again soon.